What will people say? Speak softly, the neighbors might hear. Be careful, someone could see us and will look ridiculous. Sound familiar? Almost all of us have heard these warnings since childhood. They were planted into our minds by parents, teachers, neighbors, maybe even random strangers. They conditioned us to worry constantly about the opinions of other people. In this video, I want to unpack two powerful related ideas. First, how focusing too much on your flaws can turn them into exaggerated problems that hold you back. Second, how the fear of other people's opinions can sabotage your progress, even when you are doing something you know is right. And most importantly, I want to help you develop the mental strength to break free from both of these traps. Why do we obsess over other people's thoughts? Let's be honest, human beings are social animals. From the earliest days of civilization, we depended on the tribe. Being excluded meant death. Our ancestors survived because they cared what the group thought. But today, that same instinct can destroy our confidence and self-worth. Think about it. You go to a family event and someone comments on your weight. You launch a business and a relative says, "Don't you think that's risky?" You try to learn a new language and someone mocks your accent. Immediately, that primitive fear of being judged kicks in. But I want you to understand, the world has changed. You will not die if someone disapproves of you. Their opinion is in fact completely irrelevant to your survival. This is where a new skill must be developed, the art of selective attention. Learning to choose what deserves your focus and what is not worthy of it is one of the most important skills in the 21st century. Life is short, and that changes everything. Before we go deeper, let's remember one basic truth. Life is brutally short. Sooner or later, every one of us, including those who now talk behind your back, will vanish from this world. With them will disappear their opinions, their gossip, and their judgments. In just 100 years, or even far sooner, not a single person will remember what your neighbor thought of you, or what your uncle said about your hairstyle. Let that sink in. If you accept this, you can take your first steps toward freedom. But should we care at all? Of course, you might say, but if no one cared about others, society would collapse. And you're right. We do need to care about certain things. Basic moral rules, social responsibility, respect. If you stopped caring completely, you might become reckless, selfish, or even dangerous to others. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a conscious choice to filter what you care about. Care about your values, care about your growth, care about people who genuinely love you, but stop caring about random judgments that have no substance. It's a skill. It takes training. Why flaws feel so painful? Now let's tackle the second part, how we torture ourselves with our own weaknesses. Have you ever read a motivational book or watched a self-development video, then felt miserable afterward because you noticed so many flaws in yourself? That's very common. You see the image of the ideal person and compare it to your real self, full of laziness, fear, bad habits. The gap between your image and your reality becomes a source of shame. But here's a truth I want you to burn into your mind. No one is problem-free. No one. Do you think I'm perfect just because I make these videos? Absolutely not. I have flaws. I make mistakes. I struggle. There's a saying, a happy person never looks in the mirror and declares they are happy. If I never had to wrestle with laziness, would I study ways to beat procrastination? If I never faced business failures, would I learn how to solve business challenges? Of course not. Our problems, our flaws, are precisely what build our strength and wisdom. Instead of seeing them as shameful, you can see them as your teachers. A personal example. Let me give you a concrete story. I knew a guy who was terrified of speaking English because he thought his accent was ugly. He didn't sign up for English classes for 3 years because of that fear. 3 years wasted simply because he worried what other students might think. Eventually, he realized, if I stay quiet forever, my accent will never improve anyway. So he took the risk, enrolled, and within a year was having fluent conversations. He could have saved 3 years of his life by ignoring the imaginary audience in his head. The gym metaphor. Or imagine going to the gym. You're ready to lift 15 kilograms, but you look around and see everyone else pushing 30 kilograms. You think, if I use only 15, they'll call me weak. So you force yourself to lift too much, hurt your muscles, and then skip the gym for a week because you're in pain. This is what happens when we let others dictate our moves. We pay the price with our own progress. Talented but afraid. The same problem haunts even highly skilled people. Many refuse to take advanced courses or learn new skills because they think, if someone sees me learning, they'll think I'm unqualified. So they stagnate, missing opportunities to grow just to protect their fragile ego. So what should you do? My first advice is to accept that you have weaknesses. Say to yourself, yes, I have flaws. I'm human. I won't hide them from myself or anyone else. I'll work on them, but for me, not to impress others. This will make you bulletproof against so much anxiety. Your life belongs to you, your life is yours. Not your neighbors, not your cousins, not even your best friends. Anyone who loves you should accept you as you are. Anyone who does not, let them go. Being perfect is impossible. How to ignore opinions about your choices. Okay, so we've talked about ignoring opinions on your weaknesses. Now how do you ignore opinions about your decisions? People will always have something to say. Why did you move to that city? Why did you change careers? Why did you break up with him, her? But ask yourself, who lives with the consequences? You. No one else pays the price for your choices, only you do. 3 practical steps. Step 1. Accept negative opinions calmly. People will think badly of you. Fine, that's their right. Don't argue, don't explain. Let them talk while you keep moving forward. Your success will prove you right far more powerfully than words ever could. Step 2. Challenge your beliefs. When someone criticizes you, pause for a moment. Ask yourself honestly, could they have a point? It doesn't mean you have to agree, but it helps you stay rational. Maybe there's a grain of truth. If yes, use it to improve. If no, move on. Step 3. Get specific about others. We always say people will talk, but who exactly? Write down their names on paper. Literally list them: my uncle, my coworker, my neighbor, my old school friend. Once you see their names, you'll notice these people have almost zero influence on your real life. Their opinions are powerless unless you give them power. A story about the frogs. I once read a story in a book about success. A bunch of young frogs decided to race up a hill. The prize? The hand of the most beautiful female frog in the pond. As they climbed, all the other frogs below were yelling, "You'll never make it! You'll fall and die! It's impossible!" One by one, the racers gave up, except for one little frog who kept going until he reached the top and won. Why? Because he was deaf. That's right. He couldn't hear the negativity and simply kept going. Be like that frog. When people around you tell you to quit, be deaf to their fears. The cost of overcaring. Whenever you adjust your path to please others, you become a puppet. You hand them your strings and let them control you. Take back those strings. Steer your own destiny. Extra exercises. If you really want to break this habit, here's a simple exercise. Write down what you want to do, then list everyone who might criticize you. Describe exactly what they would say. Imagine how you'd respond, or if you'd even respond at all. You'll see that their criticism changes nothing about your actual life. And remember, each time you bend to please them, you lose a piece of your freedom. Final reflections. Why do you think so many people die with regrets? Because they spent their whole lives chasing someone else's approval. They forgot to live for themselves. Don't repeat their mistake. Tell yourself today, right now, I live for myself, I respect others, but I refuse to let them rule my life. Your time is precious. Your dreams are precious. Don't sacrifice them on the altar of other people's opinions. If you're watching this video, it means you already care about improving yourself. That alone makes you stronger than most. So go ahead, accept your flaws, respect your own values, and never let someone else's shallow thoughts decide who you should be. Thank you for being here, and remember, your life belongs to you and no one else.